At the end of World War I, Germany and its allies were defeated and only responsible for the war. With the heavy sanctions imposed on them, the Austro-Hungarian and Ottoman empires were destroyed. Germany, on the other hand, must compensate for what many consider to be irrational debt. The colonies and some parts of Germany were handed over to the conquerors, and Poland was recreated. These sanctions were considered a humiliation for the German people. The German economy was weak due to excessive debt and was suffering from tremendous inflation. National mints are trying to solve this problem by printing banknotes, which reduced the value of its money. The following year, basic measures will be taken to stop inflation and stabilize and revive the economy. But the Wall Street crash of 1929 in New York caused the worst economic crisis of the 20th century. Its impact is felt all over the world. Germany was not safe either. It caused the unemployment rate to explode. Germany, which was severely weakened, saw an increase in nationalism in 1933, which led to the rise of the Nazi Party with Adolf Hitler at the helm. Despite the difficult conditions imposed on Germany after World War I, the new regime is rebuilding the country and returning military service. Despite its victory with the Allies, Italy was not satisfied with the amount of land it gained after World War I. Since 1922, the country has been ruled by the dictatorship of the fascist party of Benito Mussolini. Italy embarks on colonial policy by occupying Ethiopia and preparing to attack Albania. In 1936, in Spain, the Civil War begins, which lasts 3 years. Because of the nationalist opposition to the Republican government, which was supported by the Soviet Union and international organizations. The nationalists, led by Francisco Franco, were supported by Italy and Germany. Germany and Italy took the opportunity to test their army and become closer diplomatically. In Asia, Japan continues its expansionist policy. It used the Civil War in China to invade new territories. The Japanese military uses chemical and biological weapons and causes massacres. The Japanese Empire completed its domination of Manchuria in the late 1930s and established a government called Manchukuo in the area. Japan's territorial claim led to the beginning of its conflict with Mongolia and USSR, leading to the Battle of Khalkhin Gol. This battle eventually led to the defeat of the Sixth Army of Japan and its withdrawal from the disputed area. The defeat in Khalkhin Gol caused Japan's Supreme Command to withdraw from the invasion of the Soviet Union, to focus on the South and the natural resources of Southeast Asia and the Pacific Islands. Germany is now powerful enough to launch its territorial expansion. It first annexed Austria with the support of the local Nazi Party. Then the west of Czechoslovakia was attacked. The Slovak Republic became a German colony, while Hungary was getting closer diplomatically. After occupying part of Lithuania, Germany signed a non-aggression pact with the Soviet Union and a plan to divide Europe. Germany then invades Poland, inciting Britain and France to declare war. This marks the beginning of World War II. Although German forces are concentrated in the east, Allied forces in the west do not take the initiative. Instead, France and Britain are trying to cut off the strategic path of the iron ore that passes through Norway and supplies the German military industry. Germany reacted by attacking Denmark and Norway. In a few days, Germany occupied Luxembourg, the Netherlands and Belgium. Hitler's new military strategy is called Blitzkrieg, which means lightning war, which surprises the fortifications of the enemies with fast and high-intensity attacks. British forces are retreating against this German military power. In a few days, with the German army stopping, more than 330,000 British and French troops are evacuated via the port of Dunkirk, which is taken over on June 4. German armies then charge Paris. Italy takes advantage to declare war on France, opening a new front in the south. The German army captures Paris and then the north and west of France. So Germany takes indirect control of the French colony, without the need to send an army there. However, parts of the French colonies and Belgium Congo choose to remain on the Allied side. In London, which currently hosts several exile states, General Charles de Gaulle creates a free France that continues to fight Nazi Germany. Under the agreements signed with Germany, the Soviet Union occupied the Baltic states and part of Romania. Germany, Italy and Japan together formed the Axis powers. All British territories and colonies, with the exception of Ireland, went to war. In Africa, a war begins between the Italian colonies and the Allied forces. In Europe, on the other hand, Despite the widespread aerial bombardment of British cities, Germany fails to capture the country. Hitler then changes his plans. He now wants to attack the Soviet Union. But the plan was postponed because of Italy, which failed to invade Greece and was forced to retreat by Allied forces. Following the annexation of Hungary, Romania and Bulgaria to the Axis forces, the German army moved south to invade Yugoslavia and Greece. In Yugoslavia and Greece, communists and royal groups face each other. On June 22, 1941, the Axis forces launched the largest military operation in history to invade the Soviet Union, which was called Operation Barbarossa. Most of the well-equipped German troops attacked the east. To support the Soviet Union, the Allies occupied Iran under the pretext of the presence of the Germans, and then opened a supply route through Iran to the Caucasus. The German army arrives in Leningrad and begins the siege of the city, which lasts 872 days. In the south, German troops stopped at the gates of Moscow, where they suffered a hard and deadly winter. In Asia, Japan occupied the Indochina region of France. To counter Japan's expansionist policy, the United States sanctioned oil and steel on Japan. In response, the Japanese carried out a surprise attack on the United States in Pearl Harbor. A massive aerial bombardment damaged a large part of the U.S. Navy. The United States enters the war on the Allied side. The United States initially concentrates its forces on the Pacific Front. It also provides supplies to the Soviet Union, which continues to resist Germany's advance. Japan, in turn, conquers new lands in the Pacific Ocean. In the Atlantic Ocean, German submarines, called U-boats, are trying to surround Britain by sinking the merchant ships that supply the island. The United States, in turn, is secretly starting to investigate the development of nuclear weapons. In the Pacific, the United States stopped Japan's expansion with two decisive battles. On the Eastern Front, Hitler launches a new offensive, this time focused only towards the south, targeting the important oil reserves of the Caucasus and cutting off the Allied supply route. Axis troops quickly reach the gates of Stalingrad, but the industrial city is fiercely defended by the Soviets. In the South Pacific, Allied forces, with the United States in the lead, launch a counterattack, the objective being to move from island to island all the way to Japan. In addition, the United States uses submarines to sink ships that transport resources to Japan.